Go. All right, welcome to the Monday, September 22nd, 2025 Board of Selectmen meeting. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're missing Selectman Dave this week because he's off on vacation.
And it's cold and it's gone.
Cold and rainy.
I don't know how much rain it got in the sun, but it's cold.
Yeah. Hope he has a good time nonetheless.
Yeah.
Okay, so call to order public input. There is no public. So we're going to move on to approval of the minutes. We have minutes from the Monday, September 8th, 2025 Selectmen meeting. I reviewed them. I don't see any changes to be made.
I'll make a motion that we accept those minutes.
Now second. All those in favor? Aye. And we have minutes from non-public September 15th.
And I reviewed those. I'll make a motion that we approve those and seal them.
I will second. All those in favor? Aye. And we have a non-public. We're going to go right into the non-public. So I'm going to make a motion that we go into non-public under RSA 91A:3 -C.
Is this for under the agenda?
Yes.
Those people didn't come in.
Yeah, we can still have the non-public.
You can.
I'll second.
Is there a concern?
Yeah, the people who requested one have not arrived.
They have not arrived.
They're not here.
Okay.
So they've slept on their rights. We're having the meeting. They were notified of the time. I'm going to move that we have this non-public.
Murray, yes.
I'll be yes.
Okay. Okay. And I'm going to make a motion to come out of non-public.
I'll second.
And do we want to seal those minutes?
Yeah, we should seal them until we get a resolution of some point.
Okay. Amend my motion, please, to seal the minutes. All those in favor? Aye. Ayes have it.
And Jack's not coming in?
He is.
Okay.
3 minutes.
All right. He's next on the list. So let's take care of a couple things first.
I could put out a reminder about Hazardous Waste Day this Thursday. And we're actually looking for a few people to volunteer to do surveys at the end as people exit, or to help direct them. So if anyone out there wants to provide help, that would be great. And they can contact me or show up to the transfer station tomorrow or Wednesday and talk to Chris. But I think it's the last collection of the year for hazardous household waste.
Okay, very good. Let's move into the consent calendar. We have a little bit of time here. We have a notice of appointment. Or I guess this would be a reappointment for Heather Brown as an alternate member to the Conservation Commission. We have an application for a veterans exemption. We have another application for a veterans exemption. A warden service bill, which this is for fees for fire permits. Okay. And the right of burial for someone who purchased a plot. And I'm going to move that we sign all these applications.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, if you want to keep going.
Last selectmen's meeting, we voted to not sign the facility license agreement from Camp Belknap. I'd like to revisit that. And reason being is I'd like to, if we don't sign this, I don't think we have a appreciation dinner on Wednesday. So I'd like to sign this year, and then possibly in the next near future have a discussion with Camp Belknap and say, why are we signing this?
In deference to our employees, I'll make a motion that we sign that insurance.
I will second. Any further discussion?
It will come up again. I stand by my position that if I invite you over to Thanksgiving and I undercook the turkey and you get sick and die, you still get to sue my homeowner's insurance. If they poison our help or our help falls out of the boat or trips on a step and hurts themselves, I feel like they still have to own that liability. But that's for another day.
Agreed. All those in favor? Aye. Looks like there's only one signature here.
Thank God. I'd have to put an X.
I'm just going to sign it. We fill out the rest.
Yes. I don't know if anything else, but I'll get it back to them.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's one too.
We have an MS1 form to sign. Summary inventory evaluation. I guess this is the report of the evaluation that we just did. You had a chance to look at it?
I did. I think it's just, is it just the utilities or is it all combined?
It's all combined,
Okay.
yeah. Rod gets his, because the other one is for the lower beach pond, I think.
Right.
I don't see a place for a signature on.
Right on the front page with
Yeah.
the red sticker. Right next to your name.
Oh, right next to mine. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to move that we sign the MS1 and the MS1V, which is for Lower Beach Pond.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye. So our assessor for the utility signs on that track line. David Duffy is.
Maybe Jack's transmission broke.
And we have something from Tyler Phillips. Mountain War Shoreline permit application. Have you had a chance to go through this?
I looked at it. I mean, it's pretty.
Yeah, they stayed with the plan he presented last time.
Oh, the one that, yeah, the one that the last visit he had.
Right, but since the town is the owner of the property, we have to assign.
We have to apply for the permit.
Okay. But it's all based on the last conversation that we had.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we sign the application.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And Bob, right above where you're signing on item 10, needs 3 initials before those 3 items. The boxes didn't come out on his printout. You see item 10 is 3 statements.
Item 10, 3 statements, 1 box.
Yeah, so right before each one, if you could just put your initials.
But we only do initial ones, right?
Just mine.
I think just
It's only one
sign it.
signature.
Yeah. You're being limited today.
Okay. Action items is done. Consent calendar is done. Correspondence. We have New Hampshire Recycles activity report, an expedited minimum impact wetlands permit application on Beach Road, and a wetlands permit by notification, which I pulled aside, which is this monstrosity right here.
Yeah.
And I don't think we need to do anything with this. This is just correspondence. All right. All right, next is code officer. He's not here. Police station discussion with Cobalt, scheduled at 5:15. Take you, chief, if you wanted. I know you're on for 5:30.
Whatever you folks would like to do.
Come on up.
How is everybody tonight?
Good, and you?
Good.
Anybody get hurt in that accident this afternoon?
No, it was minor. And preliminarily from Officer Bodette, it looks like the person didn't see the person on Mountain Road and came from Ledge Hill Road out into the intersection in front of that individual.
So he did stop, but he had just got victim of a blind spot?
I can't say exactly why he didn't see the vehicle coming down.
There was a pickup truck parked there,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and you have to really pull out.
Pull out enough. Okay, that could be part of it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but that's, Officer Bodette said it looks like the person at Ledge Hill Road pulling out failed to yield. So, yeah.
I'm glad nobody was hurt.
Yes, nobody was hurt. It was a minor thing. Yep. Okay. All right, as far as stats go, we have 2 call-outs. One was for a drone call, actually. I think that was just time after the shift. The other was for a motor vehicle accident in the morning. That one was involving a deer with somebody on the way to work. We did not attend any training for the month of August. And looking at the stats here, we're up on our community policing, up on our directed patrols, up on our citations. We are up by about 11 on accidents. Our arrests are up and felonies down. Our large investigations are down a little bit. And as far as our call for service for the same time last year, we're about 400 or so more. So
These are really good numbers.
thank you. I'm very happy with my folks. So
Good.
yeah, they're doing really well. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll keep plugging away at that. As of this past Friday, new police vehicle is back from Nevo, the upfitter, and is assigned to Officer Emerson. He's had it on the road since Friday. And I'll be working hopefully this week on getting the 2017 to a body shop to have the graphics removed. Once we get that back, then I'll link up with Audrey and we'll start working on the formulation for putting that out for the sealed bids so that you guys can work on those. And we can get that out of there. Short time ago, we had an arrest of an undocumented immigrant that was living in Tuftonboro. He was arrested. He was brought to the jail. He was bailed. Once he got out of jail and was bailed, He committed a crime again. Ossipee PD arrested him, put him back into jail. And we therefore have a charge from Ossipee and a charge from Tufton Borough on this individual. And we've called immigration and customs enforcement. They're kind of working with the county attorney's office and to try to formulate what we're going to do about local charges versus having ICE take custody of this individual, get him back to Boston for their process with an immigration judge. So that was something that has been new for us. Quite frankly, we had some concerns about the fact that I guess my understanding from the superintendent of Carroll County Jail is that the only jail in the state as of this time frame that could have federal agents housed is Stratford County. So as of January 1st, I guess some laws will change that will allow them to house federal detainees and that kind of thing if there's local charges. So that's why this individual was initially bailed on our charge. So
he was bailed on a local charge?
Was bailed on Tufton Borough's charge, stepped out of the jail and committed another crime. He violated his bail. So he was arrested by Ossipee because it happened in Ossipee at that point. So we are just kind of working through that process with all people involved, and we'll go from there. That will segue me into a point that find my notes here. Officer Bodette turned around and had a little bit of a problem with trying to talk to the individual during the process. They were trying to use the Google Translate on a phone, and that's kind of a hit and miss. And I wanted to kind of drop something in your lap to see what your thoughts are. Our new body cams have a way to do real-time translation with at least like 50 different languages. So you click a button on the body cam. You can either ask it to recognize the other language if you don't know it, if there's certain dialects, or you can just go right into it. It records the whole process. That is a subscription service, and I've thought about it just because it's not just an issue about who we deal with, but if somebody's broken down on the side of the road or something like that, and there's a language barrier, that could help us as well. Axon calls it Axon Assistance, and it costs about $11,000 for a 5-year term, so that breaks it down to about $2,200 a year. My understanding is that this is another subscription on top of our camera subscription, so it can be canceled at any point. So I didn't know, I can see that.
Is it charged out over the years, or is it one-time payment?
Nope, it's charged out over the years, or you can do it as one time. So I mean, I guess either or, but it would run about $2,200 a year if you want to do it in 5 years, or it'll be about $11,100 if you want to pay up front. My thought is to give it a try. We can always cancel it if it's not necessary, but I just want to make sure that the good thing about it is that there is a clause to be able to cancel. I don't want to enter into a multi-year contract, obviously without your authorization. That doesn't work. But
I don't know if I see the value of going multi-year if we're just trying it. You know, one-year term would certainly illustrate.
Okay.
I mean, is there some massive financial benefit to go multi-year?
No, just that you're paying for the service annually, really, and is how it kind of boils down to. You know, the biggest issue I see is you know, we do have people that we bump into. Miracle Farms Landscaping is getting bigger and bigger, and they have a lot of documented immigrants from South America. Bald Peak is another example. Seasonally, they have a lot from South America. I can't say this year we bumped into a lot of French-speaking people from Quebec, but that does happen occasionally. But a lot of times they're versed in English.
Does this translator allow for two-way communication, or does it just recognize and record?
No, so what it'll do is it recognizes, they can talk, let's say Spanish for an example, they can talk in Spanish, translates to English to us, then we can talk back in English, it translates Spanish and it records the whole documentation or documents the whole conversation. So it goes both ways. The big benefit that I see is the fact that when you're trying to use Google Translate on a cell phone, you have a hand tied up and your eyes are down focusing on what's going on. So there is some officer safety aspect to it, obviously, that you just tap it and let it do its thing. But in any case.
Do you have a, number one, can you see if there's a 1-year trial period or some kind of a trial period?
Okay.
And number two, do you have money in your budget to cover this? Because you're asking for this before the budget season.
No, correct. I think that if something we were going to start now, I would have that $2,200 in my budget. And if it's something that we were going to try to work into next year, obviously we would try to do that. But my assumption will be is if I pay for something now, I assume we're going to get a year's worth, which means September we're rolling around thinking about the same thing. If it's worth it, quite frankly.
Well, with summer leaving and all of our imported summer help is pretty much they're going to be scattering in the next month or two.
Yeah.
Do you think it's worthwhile to wait and try this in the spring, or do you want to do this now?
You have a very, very good point. I mean,
put it this way, I support this.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
okay, on the person that you just arrested, what was the charge in Tupper for?
Domestic violence assault.
Okay. So it was outside of the immigration naturalization issues, it was domestic violence. When they recommitted over in Ossipee, was it the same domestic violence charge?
It was a violation of a bail protective order.
Okay.
Then again, if you do it now, it'll give you the winter to play with it. And
so even if your basic premise for this is to talk to the defendant or the charged individual, the domestic, you still have to talk to the spouse and maybe other individuals that are in the household. So you may need this more than just as an arrest device.
Absolutely, absolutely. It could be somebody in a Miracle Farms truck that breaks down on the side of the road. Right. It doesn't have to be an arrest situation. It could, any language barrier, this would help us on to get our job completed. Absolutely. Yeah.
If you have the money in your budget, I support it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if I tried to listen and look at the line, but as long as you don't exceed the line that would cover this, then I think it's fine. What we might want to do, or probably should do, if it's something that's going to be really useful, is bring it before, include it in the budget description.
Okay.
Get to that point.
Okay. Okay. I'm all set on that one.
Do we need a motion, or can we just let him?
He's got to get his contract together and see if they can do a year and how it's going to play out. And do you want us to vote on this, or can you wait 2 weeks?
No, it's okay. We can wait. I can reach out to Axon tomorrow or the next day and see what they need to formulate for us and get something. I just have spoken with the individual. I did kind of a Zoom type of meeting so that he could show me how it works, that kind of thing. And he was able to break it down either per year or in full for 5 years. So that's about as far as I have gotten. I certainly can get some documents.
Yeah, so
That's fair enough.
see if we can come through with a 1-year proposal. redress it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're gonna hold Halloween on Halloween, Friday, October 31st, from 5 to 7. Is that something you can put on, like, on website or Facebook? Perfect, thank you. And then I think the only things that I think were we going to break into the dock and parking ordinance tonight, or are we gonna wait till Dave's back?
No, I think we can go there
Okay,
and see where it takes us. So for the sake of the people watching, we've been discussing a document and parking ordinance for a few months, and we've made an adjustment to the Pier 19 parking. The selectmen voted a month or two ago to restrict trailer parking along the southwest side of Route 109 from the bridge to Bay Road. However, the chief, you have some concerns about that vote?
I just wanted to bring a couple things up to you, in terms of that is, I do not believe that I was present for the vote, as far as I know. I do remember being in the meeting when, a concerned citizen came in to say, you know, with the boat trailers and vehicles parking parallel in that little pull-off area by the fence at the beach, it was hard for regular passenger vehicles to pull in and enjoy that parking area. I have two concerns. One would be is that if we weren't gonna just isolate it to that area, if we work with the state and we have the no parking between signs or whatever it is all the way out to Bay Road, please understand that any type of parking violations along there would not be a town ordinance if we are within the state right away. We would be handling it as a violation of state law. So that would be number one. Number two is I don't know where the right of way is on the state road, but if hypothetically, if we just, to get my point across, if we said pavement to pavement on both sides is the right of way, if somebody's parking in the grass, we now are in a situation where the abutting landowner that probably comes up to that right of way is the one that has a vehicle parked on the property, like Mr. Lassie, for example. So there might be a couple other ways, but I guess if we were gonna turn around and keep it strictly all along that road, all the way to Bay Road, just understand it probably is something along that state road that we would not need it in our new ordinance.
We're not talking about restricting parking along that side of the road. We just don't want trailers. Because when the pickup trucks and trailers come in, they're taking up 40, 50 feet. And that's room for 3 cars. And the biggest complaint that we've been hearing is the parking lot gets full, the little dirt spot up by the fence along 109 gets full, and people end up having to walk a great distance. And during the summer, as you know, we have events, and the intent is to allow people to park as close as they can to the event. And when it's hogged up with pickup trucks and trailers, I think that's unfair to the people who were trying to enjoy the beach and the event. So that was my intent, is just to restrict the trailer parking along that side of the road, not complete parking.
Okay, all right.
How does that fit into your?
I may have misunderstood that. So,
and only on that side of the road.
Right. Okay, yeah. Sometimes I could say that people will drop their boat in. They will get as close as they can to the bridge there, park in the grass off the side of the road, and either it's so they don't have to walk as far to get back to the dock, or it's a situation where our public parking is strapped, meaning, 4th of July, you can barely get a boat trailer and vehicle attached in there. So they'll park along the road there. So there is, as long as there is a catalyst for helping anything with some trailer overflow, I think we'll be okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah, well, the trailer overflow is the other side of the road.
Yeah.
They can park all day long if they want.
Yeah.
And they have the town parking lot for trailers, just a short hike up the road. And I think if you're putting a boat in the water, you're able to walk.
And it's not the only boat launch we have in town.
No.
I mean, there's Lake Street with parking.
Sure.
So it isn't the only place in town where you can get into the lake. There's also boat launches in Wolfboro and Waltonboro. So
Now, you talk about enforcement, you're saying that, being on a state road, you don't think that you could write a ticket for somebody who ignored the sign?
How we would handle it on the other side of the bridge north and around the corner by Union Wharf Road is if somebody was parked along in there, it's pretty easy to say, okay, no parking at all between these signs that the state put up. So we would write a summons for that, and that's how we would address that issue. It would not be an ordinance issue. I do think that we obviously worked with DOT to get those signs put up and approved. My only thought, and I may have to do some research, is that if it's okay for people to park between Bay Road and the beach on that side of the road, but it's not okay with a trailer attached, you know, the RSA for stopping, standing, and parking prohibited just says if you're parking in a location that is prohibited along the road, so to speak, along with some other factors. So I guess I would have to look and see if we would handle that as a town ordinance within the right of way.
I think it would be a town ordinance.
Yeah, yeah, so
I
I can
guess,
take a look at it.
I think our intent was just for the property on the lakeside that is town property. I don't think we're worried about Lassie's property. I don't think I've ever seen a boat trailer that far along this summer.
You mean down on Bay Road, parking down there?
No. On 109,
Yeah,
the town property comes,
between Fran's house and Mike's house.
no, it's between Fran's house and the bridge. That's
Okay.
town property.
Yes,
So our frontage goes right up to 109.
basically the chain link fence.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's even past the parking lot and into the pucker brush there, I think, before it hits Lassie's. It's a pretty good chunk.
Right.
You can see our little triangle right here. This is all town property, and that would be Lassie's, and then I don't know who's in the middle, and then there would be Mike's. So there is actually a very good chunk there from the bridge on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from here over to there.
It's
That's
town
all
property.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, so I just want to extend that, I just want to go from Bay
maybe we
Road
can-
to here. And just knock off trailer parking, that's all. Whether it's enforceable or not is another thing, but I think if the state is okay with it, we should at least put the signs up, and at the very least, it would discourage people from parking there. Whether we can enforce it or one thing is one thing, but I'd like you to follow up on that, see if you can enforce it. But if not, I'd still like to put the signs up.
And I think no matter what, we're okay with that, where the dirt pull-off is.
Yeah.
That's far enough out that, I mean, I think you could easily say no trailer parking there too, and that'll alleviate that problem.
Yeah.
And address that woman's concern. So,
Yeah, well, she wasn't the only one. We've had other people complain about parking,
okay.
not having
So
enough
are we-
spaces.
We're not gonna change the.
I'm not inclined to change my vote, unless you tell me that we have to change our vote.
If I see any concern, I will bring it to your attention again in the future. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You understand our intent.
Absolutely, I do. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. And I have one last thing really quick. Could I have a discussion with you folks about the concert details? Dennis met with me today. I think he was surprised that I guess the police officer's detail pay came out of his budget. So I guess I wanted to talk, now that we're getting into budget season, and make you guys aware and see if I can get some clarification. Last year, we paid for it out of Dennis's budget somewhere, and this year we did the same. Is that something that you guys would like to work with him on to make sure that there are funds for the detail aspect in that line item? Or do you want to revisit that with me at some point in the future?
No,
I guess I wanted to plant the seed.
No, I think we talked about it with Dennis. I think he probably forgot.
Okay.
But I don't see any reason to change. I mean, these are his events, and part of the overhead of running these events is police detail. And I think that should come out of his budget. And if he didn't adjust his budget accordingly, he should.
Okay.
That's where I stand.
Okay.
How much per year? How much is
It's $90 for 2 hours, for the officer. There were 8 concerts, so you're talking $720 for the whole year.
Okay. You should budget for it.
And add police coverage there for those 2 hours.
Yep, every concert.
Yep.
Yep, and there were, I think, 1 or 2 rained out maybe, but,
Yeah.
and they didn't come back.
But it still has to budget for it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, that's all I have. Do you have anything else for me?
No, keep up the good work.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate your time.
These were good, thank
So
you.
you wanna hang out for Chris's
Sure, absolutely.
presentation?
All right, Chris, come on up. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, long time no see.
Yes. So 2-week look ahead. Trusses arrive tomorrow. Exterior walls are framed. Zip tape is on, so we're roughly weather tight, at least from an exterior wall standpoint. They expect 3 days for trusses, and then they'll play out the rest of those 2 weeks in finished details, and we'll be ready to do rough ends at about that 2.5 week mark. So we're looking about mid-October.
And they'll have the roof ready for shingles.
In about probably 5 to 6
Yeah.
days. Yeah, so late next week. So I think we're probably looking at the end of that 2 weeks. They'll probably be inside when they get the opportunity to shingle the outside. So that's a great position to be in. We have rain coming this week that could throw a little bit of a monkey wrench into it, but at the very end of it, we're still going to be weather tight ahead of snow. Binder coat of pavement would be up in the air. It's not really in position to pave right now. So we may or may not. At the very least, we'll have a compact gravel surface that we can maintain.
I saw, a month or 2 ago, that he was compacting around there. He had something that he was driving over, and there were these impressions all over the place. And I know he's added gravel on top of that since. Is that what you're concerned about?
That material structure is, yes, I am worried slightly about compaction, knowing that roller went down for a little bit, and I don't know, has it still been repaired? It's located on the back side of the site.
So you don't know if he finished his compaction?
Yes, I don't know if compaction is finished. I also don't know at what size those lifts are brought in to what that roller's rated for. So like the big ride-on rollers, you can do a 2-foot lift.
Yep.
And get compaction. Most guys will shoot for a foot at a time, depending on how hard they're hitting it. But the material that is at grade now, I have a concern about being appropriate. It's very fine, and then there's very large chunks of rock. So I think it's sitting probably even compact at a pretty live state of movement. So that's really, I mean, we can bring in a roller and whack it just to make sure. It really comes down to the material that we would be compacting. I don't know if it's 100% where it should be. I feel better about a different 8 inches of material on top of it to go over. But even just timeline wise, making sure that the roof is done, that the framers are out of there, and that all those grades are set and where they need to be. I worry about getting binder coated in an appropriate amount of time to know that it's going to be successful. That we're not just putting something down to plow over just to rip it up or do repair work just to do a top coat. So.
And windows, are they on order?
Yes, windows are on order. They should be in late next week.
And does our contractor put those in? Yeah.
Yes, He's gonna be installing it, so he
So it
carried
could be pretty much weather tight.
by November 1.
Yeah, by November.
Absolutely, absolutely, which does put us in a good position to try to, depending on what the weather brings us, to try to pave in November. I just don't wanna rush, because it's not the end of the world to try to maintain over that gravel for a winter, it just wouldn't be awesome. I just wanna make sure what we're going over is
Right,
100%.
right. And you don't wanna run the lull over asphalt.
Well, yeah, and then have to pay somebody to shim it in the
Right.
springtime before we top coat, so I just wanna be protective of it.
And you still have, what, the separation tank, the propane tank, and the septic system.
All the installed.
All to install.
All are in non-paved areas, so we would be able to work around those. But yeah, all of them are in unpaved areas. We could do the install, because we wouldn't see a big machine like what he has now, doing those installs. It could be done with a much, much smaller machine, something that would tow behind a pickup truck with rubber tracks. Would be more than well suited for stuff like that.
So did you discuss with Jack about those ballistic doors
Yes.
and how to do the install on that?
Yes. So we brought it up to Jack, so there's a couple things that are sitting here. This is within the packet that you guys got. There's one from Covenant Security Equipment. That contains, so what that contains is that contains the ballistic rated doors, the class 3, which go around the vestibule. And in that vestibule, there's also, Audrey, I owe you an updated PDF, I believe, because this one didn't come through with the drawer. They mention it, but they don't have it on the list, so I owe that to you. But the pass through in the vestibule, it's a pass through tray with a verbal communication window. That, and then the level 1s for the detention are all included in these, so we got to get an updated PDF, but those are ready to be released.
So the 26,650 or 29,650 is the real number? Or no?
I would feel more comfortable saying yes if I was to see on the list that the drawer and the window are here. It's mentioned in the notes, so I think it just like misprinted itself. But I just want to make sure, because we did 2 or 3 revisions with the company. But it was not over $30,000 all in, so this does feel like that's the correct number.
Okay.
You want to confirm before we vote on it?
I would like to vote over the correct quote, so.
Okay, so we.
Yeah. It's a 3 to 6 week lead time, so nothing in here is like critical this week that would hold us up. But yes, we spoke to Jack about them. We'll be all set. The install practice, they all come with install manuals. The installer will just read the manual first. There's nothing specific about the install to make it ballistic. It's or damage, like it's all just a standard install. It's really anchor based, ensuring that you're using the correct anchors within the frame system. There's actually a couple others to jump on. Insulation. You guys have the other 2 pages on these?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. So, builders installed was our best price. Quality Insulation offers, we reached out to them 6 times. They offer the glue-based system. They have not responded back. Builders Installed does not own the equipment that can install a glue-based molding. The other number we got was from BNC EcoFoam. That was over 3 times the cost. It makes sense. It's a much smaller company. So with Quality's lack of response, and we've been chasing them since day 1. I'm going to recommend that we Builders install. There's a couple different options that are listed at the bottom. I do recommend taking those options. What they have proposed is the blown in for the double stud walls. They've carried sound around office walls, interview walls, and then they've carried thermal insulation at the mechanical room.
How are they doing the sound? Is it rock wool or fiberglass?
They're using just fiberglass. I can ask them to upgrade to rock wool. I just,
Do you think it's necessary? Rock wool's much better for sound.
spec to spec, the decibel ratings within like 0.05 of itself, I don't believe it. I think rock wool's a superior product. I just know that it comes with a superior price.
I know.
My problem is that I can't come to the board and give you 2 data sheets and tell you that 3 times the cost is worth what on paper is only less than a decibel difference of
Right.
sound reduction rate.
Right. It doesn't make financial sense.
But real world experience, I think Rockwool is absolutely a superior product and much more sound dampening. I just don't know, and Chief, this would be a question for you, is to what level do we have to provide sound dampening around like interview rooms and stuff?
Sound gets through air gaps. It gets under doors, through the cracks in doors. That's where you lose your sound.
Drywalling to the ceiling, I think, would be the most impactful thing, because we're running a drywall layer in order to blow in insulation.
But having an interior door with actually weather stripping on it will do more for sound reduction.
Yeah, not lining up our outlets.
Right.
And everything.
Right.
Breaking up that continual path. I guess,
I guess, you know, really the issue is gonna be is who's really gonna be around if we're in a room, doing an interview. It might be, it most likely is gonna be only employees. If it is something where we need to do something a little different, I don't see why we can't get a little, you know, white noise thing for outside the door or something. You know what I mean? If we had to do something, but I don't think, I mean, people go into my office now and close the door if they need a little bit of some segregation to do an interview. I think that this will be superior just in where those interview rooms are located in the PD anyway, so.
okay.
I wouldn't break the bank over, you know,
Sound.
the sound and, you know, the financial aspects of that.
Yeah. Knowing that, I would stick with fiberglass. I wouldn't spend the extra money. I think it'll get us what we need.
Yeah, I think so.
So I would recommend Superior. And understanding their install method, the blown in rate, I'm less concerned about the glue.
Yeah. So do you want us to vote on these and lock them in?
That one would be wonderful, and I have one more to show you, is the Simply Custom Ink. They're out of Holderness, New Hampshire. They are a cabinetry company. They actually build their own cabinets, finish their own cabinets. They are cheaper than when we priced out with Hammond and Middleton for just the supply. They also install, and they carried a solid surface countertop for the break room area. So this will give us the full employee break room area, and it's under our allotted budget.
Yeah.
So full furnish and install with a countertop.
Back to the insulation, what you wanna do is take the 15,680 and add to that the 3895.
Can I just see, I only have the back page, and I can't recall it 100%. Yes, correct.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a motion that the board builders install insulation for $19,575.
A second for discussion. We need to make sure that we have an exit clause.
After they're approved, I then send a contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't sign these
Well,
bids.
that's another discussion. 'Cause I'm
Okay.
working on those numbers.
Yep, fine. All right, then any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
And the kitchen counters,
The other thing I like about bringing him on board is his solid surface countertop price is about 30 to 40% less than other solid surface pricing that came in, which puts us in a great position to have him provide the solid surface countertops that may be needed at the printer and copier area and at the booking location with the shelf. all of this stuff, we could start with him.
What are we using for solid surface material these days? Are they still using corian?
Yes,
Yeah? that
this
what
is the,
It's
yeah,
not corian, it's similar, like swanstone.
yeah, Wilson iron, because it doesn't require the.
It's a composite.
Yep.
It's a composite.
And what's nice about it is that it's able to be surface, refinished in place, so if it was to get scratched up or anything like that, it can be
Rubbed out.
And
finished.
reasonably inexpensive to replace if
Yep.
something happens.
Oh, it's more expensive than Formica, without a doubt, I just don't,
Less than marble.
less than marble,
Yeah.
less than granite.
Yeah, but it's longer lasting and easily
And-
repairable.
It's an 18 by 22 sink, or no, that's countertop, but with 18 by 22 stainless steel sink.
Yep. Which is just your standard kitchen break room sink, it's slightly deeper so it can collect coffee mugs for too long.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I'll make a motion that we award the Simply Custom Group out of Holderness, New Hampshire, the cabinets for the sink, or for the kitchen and the break room at $9,450.
I'll second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
So on the, we just revisit the. So walk me through the, mechanical room. You've got work area that's R15, and then ceiling is R38, and work area for the vents at 24 active vent starts. Why would we go with less insulation in the walls of the utility room than we have in the rest of the building?
So a few things, so based on the truss design where the mechanical room sits, we can get that R30 because of the depth of coverage. We also only have a 2x4 upright coming to form that mechanical room wall, so that is
So it's just the interior walls.
just the interior walls.
So that, and the rest of the exterior wall is gonna be the R27.
That is correct.
Okay.
And the AccuVent is just noted to continue that continual ventilation from ridge down to soffit.
So, are we okay with R38 in the ceiling?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
It's that, this building we'll have to do a blower door test. Jack, I believe is gonna require energy code. Will be really quite tight.
Yeah.
I think that the building is gonna rely a lot on, the ERV system being installed every mechanical. It's gonna be extremely efficient.
Right, because at some point in time, not this year, but next year at this time, you're gonna have to be looking at utilities going forward, what's the cost of heat.
The other item that I wanted to bring up was, we are close to, as we approach Ruffin, in a position that we may want to look at putting just a 20-foot storage container on site to store things like doors that may come in early. Because in talking with the Ruffin teams for mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, they have a lot of stuff that's going across the garage, as well as us then installing garage doors and everything, that they feel like if we were to use the garage space as storage, we may be inhibiting workflow. It would be nicer to put it in a container outside. It could be locking. So depending on what your thoughts are with that, I can.
Is 20 foot gonna be enough?
Absolutely. We shouldn't be ordering too far ahead that we would fill that.
How much would it cost to rent them?
Last I knew, they were $150 to drop them to $140 a month.
Well, it's cheaper to rent than it is to buy.
Yeah, unless you wanna buy a Sealand container, that's cheaper by the sea.
Yeah, do we have any?
I'll make a motion that we, authorize Chris to get a storage container, 20-foot storage container, based on his estimated price of $150 a month.
And I can do that through Audrey or Jack if you guys wanted, based on that not to exceed that we put on at the start of the project.
Sure.
This total rental won't exceed that.
And second,
Second. All those in favor? Aye.
Wonderful.
drywall, do we get a drywall number yet?
We bought out drywall already, and I can send that to you for another update. We voted on that, right?
I think so. Did I not move it up?
I don't have it on my
Um,
laundry sheet, that's the only thing.
there's a more up-to-date sheet than that.
That would be nice. Yeah, cause I'm looking at the remaining stuff. And I know what goes for two.
And then, we are working on finalizing painting, flooring, the remaining doors, and casework just got voted on. So I'll have remaining doors for the rest of this. Those are gonna be the furniture and the wood ones that are left. There's no more specialty doors.
Interior doors,
Yeah.
right.
And then flooring, if you guys have any thoughts on what we want to start with for basis of design, I can start with a 2x2 carpet tile comparable to what we're doing in the county. I don't know what, do you think that's overkill for this?
I'm a fan of 2x2 carpet tiles.
Yeah.
Would it spec out, I don't know offhand what spec out for flooring in here.
A lot of TBD is just what they put on it.
Really?
So they didn't really give us too much to go off of. There's some
You have to
carpet
have
tiles
some
noted.
solid surface stuff, I don't know. Excel on the jail area, if you will.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's
So-
like the processing area, the holding cells, those would probably be VCT, right?
I was thinking epoxy might be more durable and more competitive if we did a single colored epoxy in those areas. We
Yeah.
could do that for the bathroom and the locker room. Yeah, with the.
With
I
grit,
think the lobby probably shouldn't be,
lobby VCT. Well, again, probably epoxy is probably gonna be easier to maintain. Otherwise, you have to have somebody come in and strip and wax once a year.
Yeah, I would worry that it would look too industrial.
yeah.
Like, do I carry carpet tile in the vestibule? I wanna get somebody close and then we can select colors, but, or would you wanna see like an LVP everywhere? I'm worried LVP is gonna be really loud. Cause there's not much other soft surfaces and,
What's that acronym stand for?
luxury vinyl plank. So it's like the modern version of like the 12x12
Thank you.
tiles that are in the schools, just not ancient looking.
But that's where all the snow and slush and salt is gonna come in.
Yeah,
So having carpet tiles out there, those are gonna be high maintenance. I think the lobby would, yeah, I hear you, it's gonna be echoey.
yeah, we could vinyl plank it. We could do walk-off carpet tiles too.
But, but there would need to be, some kind of walk-off mat even.
Yeah. Yeah, so I could have them carry, cause if we carry like like Shaw as basis of design, we can carry from their LVP line, the quick ship line, in that area, then we can move to carpet tiles elsewhere. And we can do epoxy in the bale and holding utility, or do you want just utility to be just a sealed concrete?
Well, we gotta seal it somehow, I think.
We could just do a clear spray on seal it.
In the garage, how do you wanna handle that?
Just seal it.
Yeah, and then if the time comes, epoxy it down the road. And then I would do the bathrooms epoxy. I think that's super durable with the code base integrated, and then the locker room the same way. And then carry carpet tile everywhere else.
Yeah, how much more money would, the epoxy flooring be, or is that competitive?
That's really competitive. We did it for Tamworth at their transfer station.
Mm-hmm.
It was less money than the heat welded LVP to create a water cat surface. It was actually less money.
And there's not a lot of people around to do the heat welding.
It was like southern Massachusetts was the closest guys that were available to come up, which is the material cost was more, the labor was extremely less doing epoxy. Single color. If you get into mixed colors or anything, it was astronomical.
Right.
We could do it a single color.
Well, if it's competitive, I think we should explore that option.
All right, that's the scope of work I'll build then, and we'll come back and put forth.
It's not as if we can't change at some point.
Right.
You do epoxy floor, you can still put carpet over it if you want to.
But we should
certainly.
absolutely put carpet tile in the reception office, chief's office, sergeant's office, meeting room.
We can do that.
Yeah.
On it. Awesome.
And anywhere else you guys think we should have it.
And I think that's about it. We got the exterior sign. Do we have a number on that yet?
We do not have a number on the exterior sign yet. We have a rough design, and we're just having to communicate with them. But we are working with layouts with electrical to run out to flagpole, sign, and all the light posts at the same time.
Have you reached out to JC Sign, Wolfboro?
I haven't called Jerome, I go see him next week, so I'll bring it up. Is that who's done the rest of them in town, would he know the basis?
I don't know who's done the other signs in town. I've worked with Jerome for years.
Yeah.
And this and that.
I just assumed.
Somebody can have somebody on without the one of those signs.
I don't know if he does them, I don't know if he does hilltop signs, I don't know if he does them anymore.
We just use the sign shop in Laconia, but we are like stations replacement.
Good to know. We should probably have an option, but at least give Jerome the opportunity.
Okay, and we're not gonna do the masonry base and everything like it shows on the original drawings, we're gonna do more of like, I assume like a granite post,
Posts,
wood,
with the sign in between.
Yeah,
so match out here.
yeah.
Or,
Granite would be great if we do that.
Mm.
As opposed to wood. I mean, as little maintenance as we can get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think a planter is probably not a good idea.
Okay, yeah, alright, fair enough. Alright, cool, that's all I have, is it from work?
Did you need a non-public?
I'm not prepared for that,
Okay.
but I will be shortly.
So next selectmen's meeting, or are you gonna want a special meeting?
I will let Audrey know by Thursday.
So we don't meet again for
October 6th.
2 weeks.
Alright, I will let you know by Thursday, I have some stuff in that I just need to review and vet out.
All right, Chief, any questions, concerns?
Questions here. I guess the only question I really had is if you did stick down in the foyer, if you walk in with fluid and salt and stuff, will those tiles start to peel up and will stuff get down in between and start to peel, or will there be a maintenance issue there?
Not as long as we do a proper install, and we do them rated for entryways.
Got it.
In regard, no matter what, a walk-off mat is gonna be critical to any floor surface.
All set, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night, folks.
5:45 highway, right on time. How you doing?
How are you? Good, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Did I cut you off? Not where you were supposed to go before?
No, he's up there.
Okay.
There's some lady in the lobby. That lady right there.
This is, the update.
So you're not doing intersections for safety anymore, you're just blowing them off?
Yeah, I blew up too.
What do you mean, not doing
That was
this?
a joke.
Oh.
Poor joke, apparently.
Sections for safety reasons.
Yep.
And we ditched Chandler, thank God. We don't wanna do that anymore.
Yeah, so we ditched
So
Chandler
it's
Road and
probably-
repaired some more shows.
Ruining the King's English here.
And we stumped out culvert ends, repaired street signs, we've cleaned up some down trees on the roadsides, filled
Yeah,
potholes.
yeah, some more of those.
And it's an endless battle, it seems like.
Jesus.
Yep. We fixed some washboarding on some of the dirt roads, and we replaced a culvert on Sodom Road, and we got
So is,
some help with signage from the fire department, which thank you guys very much, that was a big one.
that was not the same culvert that we've been talking about, HED about?
No,
It was somewhere else on Flatmore.
that's down further, that's down near County Road.
I think I was not there that day. I left just when we were at the, yeah, it was County Road, it was right there. You're right, okay, it was there. That's the one we want to repair, replace? Okay. So, I got a picture of the culvert that we pulled out under Sodom Road.
Well, routed right through the top.
Well, actually, it's upside down. It
It's
was
upside
about-
down, so the bottom of it.
See, you couldn't tell because there's always stuff sitting on the bottom or whatever.
Yeah.
I looked at the other culvert, and I think we have the same thing going on. You can't tell because it's got water sitting in it. It's got like a foot of water in it. But what I can see, I didn't have a picture
This
of
is
that.
the bottom.
Yeah, and I think the other culvert's gonna be identical, I'm pretty sure they were put in at the same time.
We're not using plastic.
Is this the one over on Dame Road, right across the,
No, it's,
or is it still?
it's on South Road, but we did the upper culvert, which is more of the overflow.
Mhm.
And the one that takes the main water, I have a feeling it's identical, because I can now, what I can see, that now the water's receded down some, it's perforated, it's definitely rusted through.
So we're using plastic as opposed to metal for replacement?
So it came up as to replace with metal, I don't remember how that
This
works.
followed through because it was a FEMA reimbursement in like kind. The only mitigation that we were approved for was the concrete head wall and wing walls. For this relief culvert, overflow culvert. The other one could be whichever way, that FEMA just wanted this one done.
So how long did that one last?
I think Rich Covey probably installed those.
So 20, 30 years?
I'm guessing all 30 years, yeah.
So in 30 years we'll be replacing it again.
Yep, well, won't be me, but. It won't be any of us.
Okay.
Well, probably longer than 30 years.
Could be.
Yeah, and maybe it was 40 years, I don't know how long it was, but, you know, I guess we need to consider doing the other culvert in the very near future.
Like this year before winter,
I
or?
was hoping that if we can afford to, I did see that we had some money left over in the paving prep.
Not much,
How much did you see?
about $8,000.
Oh, I didn't, I saw more than that.
Road prep and repair.
Yeah,
The warrant article, you're talking about the warrant article too?
No,
yeah. These two that you gave me.
Yeah, the warrant article he's talking about.
These are the two that I received last week.
So, how did we underspend the warrant article?
Well, I think it must be the amount of prep that we did. We didn't spend as much as we had anticipated, which is great because it'd be great to use it now.
However, the warrant article, that's not its intended purpose. We can't change the,
It's still road,
yeah, it's
Pretty
road
paving
prep
prep.
dated.
it's 100% the
We
same.
didn't.
warrant articles for paving Ledge Hill Road and,
No.
And road prep.
If we read the warrant article, I don't know that it actually delineated the roads.
It definitely doesn't delineate the paving prep. Because we've had this conversation many times over the years.
yeah, but my understanding is the intent of the warrant article was for Ledge Hill Road and Pine Mill Drive. And any prep was for those two roads only.
But the prep is always an estimate.
Yeah, but for those two roads.
What do you do with the money? Send it back to the undesignated fund balance?
Yeah, I think so.
What are we gonna do to the culvert that fails in the middle of winter? He's got $106,000 left in his budget.
Oh, no, there's not that much.
I'm sure there isn't, I'm looking at,
Oh, I thought you were looking at that.
no, in the total budget. So if we don't use this money, where are you gonna get the culvert money?
Oh, yeah, there's nothing other.
No, money.
No, it's not
Because
coming,
that's gonna be expensive.
it's not coming out of your operating
No,
budget.
because that's probably a $35,000 culvert by the time we're done.
It's, both of them are generic.
What did I say?
To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $195,000 for the preparation and paving of Tufton Borough neighborhood roads.
I mean, I don't think we'd ever have, and I would certainly warn us against ever delineating the actual road in the warrant article.
Yeah.
Preparation and
We've been through
paving
this.
of neighborhood roads.
Because we've had to switch it like before in the spring, when one road got worse than another. We switched it and that's when we.
Yeah, I can't support taking it out of a warrant article that's specific. I know we have to fix it. We gotta find the money, I know that, but I can't support taking it out of a warrant article. I'll say it again, that warrant article is specific for Ledge Hill Road
No,
and.
it wasn't.
No.
It was not.
You just read it. Read it again. It is
Preparation and paving
of
of neighborhood roads
Okay.
for paving. I know they didn't.
Preparation.
Preparation.
Yeah,
But if we're gonna pave next year, we gotta fix this before we pave Sodom Road next year.
Right. Not like we're taking the money out and buying a boat. It's for preparation and paving. Is there any money left in the Ledge Hill Road warrant article? How much?
I don't know exactly. What was the report you just had, Jim?
So you're holding that number, and I think it was minus 19,000, but I don't know if that's all the bills or not, but there might be 30,000 is my guess.
Well, it's 14,000 here. And neighborhood roads. That Bob doesn't want to spend.
for the preparation and paving, then this quote's neighborhood and major.
If we decided midstream in May that it was more important for us to pave Sodom Road than it was to pave Ledge Hill Road.
And this has happened in the past, that's why we decided never to do
Would you have
that.
said no?
So you're saying that we're gonna attempt to pave Sodom Road next year?
Well, that's up to you guys, but I did.
Well, it's gonna come from your
Numbers.
recommendation, along with our Lakes Region Planning Commission
Right.
map.
So on this one, you do have this much more to come out of this number.
Correct, yeah, so it puts us just under 30,000.
Right.
So, I'm trying to work through this. So, are you saying that you're gonna recommend that we pave Sodom Road next year?
Yes, it definitely needs it.
And we talked about doing it this year, but we realized that we couldn't because Ledge Hill Road and Pine Mill Drive kind of took precedent. And we were always under the thought that Sodom Road was gonna be next year, 2026,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Well, it's certainly gonna be first on the list of discussion.
So if you're gonna be
Now
paving,
it's obviously
it's gonna be first on the list of discussion, absolutely.
if we put a culvert in.
So, you'd have to do the culvert one way or the other. You're not gonna pave Sodom Road unless you do that culvert.
It makes no sense to do it that way.
Right. So,
And now it's the dry time of year, that's the hard thing to do in the spring.
right. So I could hang my hat on, if we pave Sodom Road next year, I can hang my hat on that and vote
I'll
in
make a
favor of taking
motion
the
that
money.
we, allow the road agent to use the excess funds in the paving warrant articles to replace the culvert on Sodom Road.
I'll second. And again, as long as we're paving Sodom Road next year, put it into the warrant article, whether it passes or not, we at least put it in as a warrant article. Okay, all those in favor? Aye.
Yeah, cause I think new roads need paving, and we still have to do Pine Mill Road.
Pine Mill Drive,
Yes,
top coat.
Yeah, I gave you a list there. These are some of the ones that we discussed last year.
Yeah, so we're not looking at $90,000, or $92,000 for Pine Mill Drive.
Well, the proposal, I'm using an old proposal, but it is from like May of this year. But they didn't put the shoulder gravel in,
Yeah.
so using the number that they had used before was $1.40 per linear foot. So you'd have to add that 11,676. Yep, so you're talking really 100,000 for the top coat, and if we gravel it.
Talking 99,000. Okay. And then Sodom is just the top coat.
Shimmin,
That'd be, yeah, just a
shimmin top coat.
Yeah, a drag coat with 1.5 inch surface coat.
And Harvest Lane. So we could actually pick up Harvest Lane as well.
That one's in
Just get
pretty
them all
bad
done.
shape.
I'm sorry?
That one is in pretty bad shape.
Yeah.
So are these recommendations in concert with our Lakes Region Planning Commission recommendations?
So, I don't know exactly if they're perfectly in line, but they're definitely all on the list, correct?
Harvest Lane I know is red in that.
Yep.
Map.
Map.
Yep.
Pine Mill Drive, not road, was in red. Sodom, I don't believe all of it was in red, but it's a major through road, so.
Yes, that's, my concern is that is one of our major roads.
And the new road. And there's always 2027. And I haven't gone over, have I gone over new road lately?
I know that,
I think you did, because you complained to me about it.
yeah,
Did I?
the Sodom Road and the new road is in rough shape, you know, from Mountain Shadows down. I know that's in pretty rough shape.
Yeah.
So what's happening is the old top coat is worn down enough and it's starting, it's peeling up. It's delaminating, it's peeling up. That's gonna be a problem. It's not gonna get better. You know, we've been trying to put little shim patches in there and whatnot to prevent it, but as soon as you start plowing again, they come right out, unfortunately.
Look at the significant amount of commercial traffic.
Will you just review, the Lakes Region Planning Commission map and see where we are?
Okay, yep, I will certainly do that.
I mean,
Is
they did a lot of work for us.
guardrails are all done?
They're not.
I don't think they were. I've seen a lot of them.
They did a few, yep. They did 1 day's worth, actually.
Wow.
That's what they got done in 1 day. And they're on a big state job doing a night job. And they said they'll be back, I believe, October 8th.
And then they finish.
I'm hoping to finish it, which I said, that's fine, because that actually will work out better for me to have the culvert done before they come along and put in the guardrail in for us to work around.
19 Mile Big Crosswalk. I know we asked you in the springtime to think about doing that.
Yeah,
Where are we?
so I'm not sure who's funding this thing too, but, because you told me. to
Well,
talk
this
to
time it
Matt.
doesn't have to be this year.
Okay.
I think what we need to do is, I'm under the understanding that they just need concrete bases. There's no electricity that needs to be run, no wiring or anything. They just need a concrete base to mount the pole on, I think.
Yeah, the whole thing is a little up in the air, and I haven't really figured out who's
Well,
behind it.
The design's done and it's been approved.
Design was paid for.
Okay, I don't have a copy of this design.
Well, it's here somewhere.
Yeah, we have
It
it.
isn't like it's gone away.
Okay,
Clearly, you're not gonna get to it this year. You don't have the money. Probably not the time
well, I don't
either.
even know, I thought somebody was supposed to be funding this, I didn't think it was.
Well, there was a point in time 2, 3, 4 years ago when there was some donor that was thinking about
That's
maybe.
what I heard.
Yeah.
Doing it, yeah, and that kind of fell
I think
through.
what we need to do, and I think what Bob's leaning on here is, let's get a figure for doing it in April or May. And we'll put a warrant item put together.
Okay.
I think we really need to work on.
If I could have that design, that would be, you know. I'd
Yeah.
be able to get- I'll need
It's here.
that
It's
to
here.
get a price.
I think what we need is, essentially, it's just, it's putting in the concrete bases for the poles, painting a crosswalk, purchasing and mounting the poles.
Yeah, the state can do the signage before and after, you know,
Okay,
crosswalk
okay.
coming or whatever.
We need to put in the base with some kind of pole.
Yes.
Right.
We need to know what that pole side down is.
Well, just go up to Brewster Academy.
Or
Look
just
at the ones, you know, the crosswalk that's right at Brewster with the blinking lights? Same thing, look at those.
Look at the plan, I think it's all pretty well spelled out on that.
But I'd like you to plan on doing that in springtime. And we'd like to budget for it.
Okay, yeah, we can. come up
Have
with
we
a
done
number. I
anything
have a plan.
have we done anything at the shop as far as?
Yeah, a little bit. We've made a little headway, but I'm asking and inviting another person to bid on it at this point too, because I kind of lost out on one person not responding.
All right, so if you want us to carry that money forward, you need to get a firm bid that we can
Okay,
land on.
Yep.
We're gonna have to go through this whole process
yeah.
again.
I was thinking about asking Josh if he could do that for us.
Amen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would you be a guy for that?
Good.
Yeah,
Busy.
he doesn't have 1,000 houses lined up. And were we gonna change the doors on the front?
Yes. So I've got the pricing for that, but the price of the doors, and I got the price for the changing, doing the land beam, and I just wanted to talk to Jack one more time before I present it,
Okay,
because I may be missing something.
okay. And have we got the gas pump figured out?
Yes,
Okay.
doesn't have anything to do.
What's that?
That's us.
Oh, okay, it's like, I don't think I do.
So you don't deal with the gas pump, do you?
No, I don't use it, and I don't know much about it, but
Okay. Well, it's on your site, so.
yes.
It can be his responsibility.
So you currently have $108,347 in the budget left.
Everything.
So when you're 21 grand upside down in summer, 9 grand upside down in winter. So you're gonna bring your budget forward when, next month?
Yeah, that probably our next meeting is, expecting you're gonna need to see it.
Right. So let's make it reasonable so we can actually get some stuff done without having to dip into everybody else's budget. Because I don't think you've got enough to plow. Starts snowing in November.
Yeah, we don't know.
Or worse,
That's the thing, nobody knows yet.
It starts being ice storms, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Standing and all that.
It's a big part of budget quickly.
Any major work needed on the equipment? You bought some sanders last year.
No, I think we're actually in pretty good shape.
And you've got a stocked sand and salt shed, well, maybe not salt right now, but, you've got a lot of sand in there.
We have a fair amount, yep.
Get us through the end of the year, maybe?
That's what we're hoping.
We do that every year. So we're gonna add sand and salt out of this year's budget, because we did it last year at the same time. I remember.
Yep.
Hearing about it. And your catch basins are pretty well done.
No, I haven't spent that yet.
No, you haven't.
No, they're coming on October 7th and 8th.
You still have 20 grand in tree removal, so stay after that, because you're gonna find yourself doing it at midnight on a
Yeah, that's
Sunday night.
what I'm trying to avoid for sure.
Any other capital purchases for next year that you're looking at?
No.
I didn't see anything go through the CIP, so I'm thinking paving.
Yep. In the building.
Hopefully, we'll get the approval on the Salem Road culvert, which is different from the Salem Road culvert that they just did. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes. And different for the one that we still need to do.
So there are 3 culverts, one of which is done. Okay, one of which is a $700,000 project. Or 400, how much is, do you remember?
The one that HEB's,
Yeah, the
Designing
FEMA one,
for
the
us.
one we did the sidewalk with FEMA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have to get substantial work done on that prior to April 1st, I think it is, next year. So when you're calculating your pavement, probably Sodom Road's gonna get paved in July or August. I mean, I don't think you can put it early because we gotta get that. We should get that last culvert in prior to paving.
It would be nice, but I don't know how quickly that works.
Yeah, the construction might not be till next fall or 2027.
I thought we ran out of, we're thinking about getting an extension until then, because,
On all the culverts.
yeah. All right. Well,
If we just have to patch one spot, it won't be the end of the world.
feels like the end of the world.
Chris, do you need anything for the current Sodom Road culvert, the 57,000?
Yeah, we were gonna discuss that, cause you're not quite done.
No, we still, they're coming,
FEMA's
beginning of next-
deadline was October 1st.
Yep.
So I'm gonna apply tomorrow for an extension till December 1st, because FEMA doesn't like it if we're not done and we can't provide pictures. on that date, so I'm
So
just
I
gonna,
do have the head walls coming beginning of next week, so.
but just in case like something happened.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
wanted to have
No,
the
but
extension in place, so we were gonna discuss your approval as the board to authorize that extension on the one that's already been funded, which is the one that he has at like 80–90% done now.
I mean,
And I know that, last thing for me, I know that you're the only person that gets a paycheck for payment from the town of Tupperware. All your employees get paid by you.
correct.
So sometime before the end of the year, can you give us a copy of your policies?
You get that every year.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
No, I just had someone question it, so I just wanna make sure I have it in hand.
Have your equipment prices, your menu, dump truck, loader, are those prices changing?
So I haven't decided if one of them may change, but we're,
Can we get an updated price
Yep.
list?
Yep.
Menu, so to speak?
won't be any major changes.
No, but due diligence, we need to have it. Cool,
Okay, thank you, Jim.
thank you.
Thanks.
Fire. Not supposed to yell at me.
Right, it's not a crowded room. Is that somebody that needed to see us?
Yes, it's a non-public and they're willing to wait.
So you're gonna come in later?
Yeah, they were in the, still in the hall.
Meets for the Uber driver, Ron Ben.
So there was one minor correction on the updates, and I had turned in the correction. It was just in reference to how one of the fires had started. Near 93 Middle Road. It was actually a trimmer with a blade instead of someone throwing a cigarette out. I didn't read the report before because I was out of town at that point in time. But I didn't read the report before I.
What did you hit, a rock and spark?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's that dry that
Yeah.
it's stuck. You know, the person turns around.
Thankfully, we're getting some rain, what, tomorrow?
Hopefully.
Not a lot.
Hopefully. So 2024, at this time, we were at 551 for calls and 149 for inspections. As you can see, as of 9/18 for 2025, we're at 478 and 110 for inspections. We're advancing forward with both as far as it goes, but obviously we haven't had any major storms and things like that as we have in the past, but one thing that we have noticed that a lot of the calls are taking like 2 hours or more for different steps. So we might be having less calls, but they're a little more in depth as far as when we do have them. Incidents, and again, you probably read through those as far as the different calls.
Yeah, your fire calls are way down.
Yeah, they're
EMS calls are up.
we're staying steady with EMS calls as far as it goes, and obviously we don't list them out of wherever all of them are as far as it goes, but and there's been a lot of larger calls around us in other towns that we have gone to also. For your information, as of today, the state has put a burn ban on, that there is no open burning in the state. So that's the proclamation from the governor. And we have that now posted on the town's website throughout town in a couple different areas. We've notified all of our seasonal permit holders of that, and however else that we can get it out as far as the different things. So facilities and apparatus update. We had a mixing valve that was replaced at the central station on 9/3 for $579.50. Terminex Pest Control did a treatment at the central station on 8/18. Ambulance 1 had the following repairs completed at Lake Region Fire on 9/3 for $1,596.61. They replaced a defective e-brake cable, rear tire extension valves were replaced, and a turbo boost leak was noted and was taken care of there at the same time. Boat 2's completion looks like it's going to be somewhere around the end of October. We continue to get pictures weekly from the company, from Diamondback Airboats, and they are making good progress. One thing that came up in CIP as far as vehicle-wise, we would like to possibly keep Utility 1 when it's replaced and put it in second line operations as far as it goes. We currently have approximately just under 50,000 miles on the vehicle. What we are looking at is rechassing our rescue, and I don't know how much of from CIP you've been following as far as it goes.
Well, I've been following a bit.
Okay.
So the plan would put the rescue body
On a new chassis,
on a new chassis.
which is a heavier chassis. Currently, in 2016, when the rescue was built, the only thing that was available to put it on was a F550 chassis. That was the heaviest chassis that they made at that point in time. They stopped making the Kodiaks, and but International has since then started building a medium-duty chassis that's four-wheel drive that will take more weight. What we have found is that our rescue truck has too much weight on it, obviously, and is causing rear end problems and things like that. As you go through, you can see that we've put quite a bit of money into the rescue over this last year and before that. What we were looking at is rechassing it, using the rescue chassis to build a forestry truck out of, or our new Utility 1, and putting the Utility 1 as it is, taking a bunch of the equipment and stuff off that. So it's more of a everyday light duty vehicle as far as operations and things like that. It gets used every day with that. But it's a dual purpose. Currently, it's a dual purpose vehicle. It doubles as our forestry truck, and it has all the equipment on it that they would use. The two captains did actually I should say Captain Pike did a presentation with the CIP laying this all out, and I do have some information that you can look at in reference to just the estimated cost and why we were looking at that. It's going to be a lot less money to do it that way than building a new rescue truck or just a new forestry truck, because we already have a chassis, in the rescue truck, which has 12,000 miles. The rescue truck has 12,000 miles on it. It's a 2016. It would be perfect for the operations day to day as far as to be a forestry truck. It's heavy enough. We would put what's called super single tires on it.
So we're taking the rescue chassis
Yes.
and turning it into a forestry truck. So then we have to buy a chassis to fit into the rescue.
That's correct.
So that's the only
That's
purchase.
that would be the purchase, and then putting that back together.
Right, I mean, you have a certain purchase for moving the rescue body.
So, basically, as far as what we were looking at for the rescue remount is 325. And for the utility forestry, they were looking at approximately $25,000 for that.
So 325 is the chassis
Is the chassis and doing all the
change?
upfitting.
325,000.
And it's on the high end.
That's on the high end.
But it's significantly less than this.
Then we
rescue vehicle.
were looking at $550,000 for just a different rescue vehicle. So this is our current utility.
Yep.
This is our current rescue.
Current forestry?
That is,
Oh, that's it, right?
it duals, it's a dual purpose, plus, that is ran around town all day long as far as different stuff that the captain takes care of, the services care of.
You had that old Jeep.
Yeah, we've gone through a tremendous amount of different vehicles as far as it goes. This is what was given to CIP. That's not something that we need,
Excuse me.
just for your information.
Okay, utility one.
So utility one, if we were going to replace it, it would have been 2 years ago now. But it got put off as we went along, because car one needed to be replaced, and then engine 4 needed to be replaced, and the police department was happening. So we've put it off. We feel that, vehicle wise, operating as a second due vehicle, out of the department, it would be a very decent vehicle for that. It's set up, obviously, as you can see with the pictures, for fire department operations. It has a fairly heavy duty bumper on the front with a winch, and the aluminum back as far as that goes. So if we were to sell that, it would probably get somewhere around $14,000 for Kelly Blue Book, but to us it's kind of priceless, because it still has radio setups that are decent. It's all set up for our operations as far as it goes.
That's a forestry truck.
Yes, basically. We call it utility one.
So you wanna get a new chassis, put this body on
On
the new
it.
chassis.
Yep.
Take this, do I have it right so far? Take this chassis, and put it on that.
No. So
Take that body and put it on this chassis, so take it out on this.
So this chassis goes under this.
Yeah.
Once this is removed, it would have a flatbed put on it.
Yeah.
It won't be this one. We could take the tank and the pump and stuff out of the back because
It'll be
it's
much
removable.
longer.
It'll be a longer back as far as it goes.
Okay.
But
all the equipment can go.
yes,
That's why it's such a reduced cost for the forestry build at $35,000, because all that forestry equipment would move over to the new
to this.
Yep.
repurposed cabin or chassis.
And then what do you do with this?
This this whole truck, as we said, we would like to keep that as a second line.
The flatbed and the pickup.
Okay.
Just as a piece to do inspections and daily operations that don't need a suppression truck and.
Kind of like a car too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We sold the Suburban when that was due, and we had discussed keeping that as a support vehicle, so that when we're going to send crews to training, or doing inspections, or we're moving signs, we don't need to take a suppression piece with
So
thousands of extra weight.
once you take this tailgate down, everything that is between these 2 points slides out. We take it out in the winter time. We take once we drain the water off, that whole thing comes out, sits on some small horses at the Melvin Village Station, because we don't keep it in the back of the truck so it doesn't freeze. And
That body won't fit on this chassis.
that's correct. But the stuff that's in the back will fit on the body that we look at. We have no hard numbers for, the body as far as that goes. This is all stuff that we're currently working on and doing we got the fire department budget completed, which was something that we were, trying to get done, struggled a little bit because it's a little bit earlier than it normally is and whatever may not be spent.
So how many miles on this chassis?
This one here?
Chassis?
This has,
Just under 15,000.
And what year is it?
2016, it has 12,913 miles.
And corrosion in the frame?
And as far as frame wise, no, the frame is in good shape. The whole back of this truck was just repainted under warranty. You may remember through Lexus fire
And
apparatus.
that back will fit on the new chassis?
Yes.
So not the original fit
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, obviously there's some upfitting as far as that they'll have to do, but yes, it'll fit on that. So the back has been 100% repainted this year. So, and as far as the body as far as this chassis is in really good shape as far as chassis.
Well, I think it's a good idea.
I guess I need to know more about this second truck. Utilizing, so you got a 15,000 mile chassis, you're gonna put something on, or the forestry,
Yes.
that's gonna fit. And then you're gonna have the forestry truck chassis sitting there, waiting for something to happen. We're adding a vehicle to the fleet. So the expectation is, at some point, how old is the
2008.
2008? So that's going away.
Well, we would like to keep the 2008.
So you're keeping a 2008, so the expectation is gonna be that probably 3 years they're gonna wanna replace that.
Right.
Well, it's not running frontline anymore.
Right.
It'll be really a support vehicle for
Right.
inspections.
know
And
that you-
But when-
so that
anything
20-year
for
cycle
20
that we
years.
normally replaced other stuff at,
Yeah.
that piece doesn't necessarily have to follow that because it's not a first due out piece of emergency apparatus.
No, but you gotta replace it at some point. Someday that 2008's not gonna be
Yeah,
worth
No,
it.
but it
Picking
can
a boat.
extend its life.
Right.
And then you're gonna wanna replace it with another vehicle.
In that particular vehicle, everything that's been done to that vehicle as far as purchase, the back body, when it was changed, was through the association. That is a smaller type of vehicle that we could look at for association project down the road.
Would you be better off plowing with that than plowing with your new truck?
I don't know if I'd want to put a plow on that. It has a heavy duty bumper and winch and all that stuff already set up on it as far as that we used on a regular basis. The newer truck is all set up for
Well, let's assume,
everything now.
I'm sorry, let's assume that we're just gonna go ahead with real serious discussions about changing the rescue chassis around so it's a proper chassis. And then changing the body over on forestry one. And then,
Then go from there.
yeah,
We're just,
I mean,
we were just throwing it out there because, there was some discussion, I believe, that would it be a good vehicle for the transfer station, or for Jack, or for whoever as far as the And it's already set up for us in a second line position, we wouldn't really have to do anything to it, besides upkeep.
We have to justify it to the budget committee too.
Yes.
Chip, those are the same
Well,
sheets, sorted
the
differently.
problem that you're gonna run into is you're out there at 1,200,000. And our total warrant is averaging 1,500,000 to 1,700,000. And we've gone over 2 million once or twice, but not very often.
Right.
And so we need to look at making sure we can fit everything that's needed in a year, so it might get pushed.
And it's something that we just want to bring forward, so that you're not caught off guard, that, it's not something that we're saying that, you know, it's absolute as far as it goes, but it's there. We've been asked to do whatever in CIP, and we're just trying to lay it out as.
And the other problem that I see going, looking at it is, it's a real low mileage chassis, it's currently on rescue.
Yeah.
That just means you don't use it very much.
Oh, we use it.
We've been
it's
trying to
just-
minimize
We've
it
been
since
trying to
then.
minimize
Sure,
the
you
use.
use it.
Well, no, it's overweight, so we're minimizing how much it
You're
goes
not
up.
doing transports.
Right.
That sort of thing.
No, it's not something that, that you're gonna have patience or anything like
Right.
that. It's a rescue truck,
So,
but it's set up that it does have water, it does have a pump. It goes out
but
to
is
the,
that a 2026 necessity?
right.
Or is it a 27 necessity?
Well, having just around 12,000 miles and having put $12,000 of work in it in the last 2 years, and it's got rear end problems because it's overweight. It's been weighed
That's our
by
issue.
state police and they've told us that it's overweight. That's where we're trying to rectify a weight issue with the truck traveling down the road
Yeah,
with a bigger frame and chassis.
okay. I mean, we're not gonna do it on that.
Not
For
really.
that anyway.
No, but this is
Are we all
just,
set with Stewart, the ambulance, are they good for 27
yes.
Okay.
Well, 26,
or 26?
and then
I'm sorry.
hopefully
26.
27. So that information has all been turned in as far as budget wise, along with our operating budget as far as it goes, which we originally were supposed to present to you tonight, but it's been put off for 2 weeks.
Yeah, because we're too tired and old.
So that's,
And Dave's not here, your
Yeah.
budget needs to.
Yes.
have the
well,
three of us.
it's a fairly high budget.
Dave's not here tonight.
So that was that. You were talking about, the electronic signs, obviously, they've still been utilized quite often as far as it goes.
Thank you for sharing those.
And we'll continue with that. The Household Hazardous Waste Day, obviously, is coming up on the 25th. The signs are currently showing that. We
Can
do.
you show more than one message? 'Cause I-
People don't see it. If you were showing more than one message, you're gonna miss whatever the next one is.
Because the fire thing, fire danger, I think, is really important.
That's what's up right now.
Yeah, that's up right now. So, and we, as I said, we have it posted wherever we can. They are gonna move temporarily up to the transfer station. One's up there already, for Household Hazardous Waste Day, so that they can be used for whatever information that Chris wants for that. The Sodom Road culverts, obviously, Captain Morgan is going to do the extension for that if you're okay with that.
Yes.
So that's one of those. There's an upcoming flu clinic. It's gonna be at the central station from 10/23 from 9 to 12. And that's, is going to be put on by, Lake Region visiting nurses.
No charge flu shots or just,
There's a charge, but usually Medicare or whatever your insurance is, covers that.
So that can go on our website as well?
And that, I believe, is already on the website. I think
Okay.
Cammy had taken care of that. One thing as far as the fuel pumps, we have an invoice that finally came to us. It's marked September 11th, and it's in reference to the repairs that were completed on the fuel pump, is $2,357.35. How would you like to go about that? Is there a specific area that you would like to take that out of? Or do you want that split between police, fire, and code enforcement for that particular pair this year where there is no, right now, as I feel, a line item that anything was ever done in the past?
Audrey?
Code enforcement said that amount consumes his whole budget, and because I know this thing's coming up next year, I'd recommend that we add a line for the fuel building to the building maintenance category and apply it there and be underspent in a couple other of those items. And then you'll have your line item for next year when we have to work on the building.
Well, you have,
Would this come out of contingency?
no,
An unexpected repair like this?
both the fire, where is it, Mr. Fireman?
Just like with your payroll and salaries.
Fuel, so you have $6,000 or $5,184 in your fuel account, and police have, there we go. Police has 5,149. We have $10,000 in those two lines. Jack's got a couple $100. So, I mean, I think we hit the fuel one, but more importantly, my feelings is split between the fuel lines, is that we get a contract for gasoline for next year. So I made a mention, and I think Captain Morgan was, we're looking for a certifiable fuel
System.
place. So we can actually contract with somebody to deliver our fuel.
And we're not sure if the venting was what was holding that back. It's my understanding that as long as you don't go over 660 gallons on the site,
Right.
that's not only that gas tank, but if any other tanks that you might have there, that it didn't have to be like at DOT, as far as it goes, that it was gonna be okay. But I guess that would be up to the
It has a
companies that came in.
containment unit.
It has a containment unit for the tank,
Right.
but we don't have like a cement pad, or anything there that you would have to pay like $50,000 for to get that whole
Gas station.
set up.
So is our fuel system up there compliant?
The company that came in and did the work said that we would be okay, if we added a vent and whatever work that we had taken care of.
So did they add the vent?
They added the vent
Okay,
when
so-
they took care of the
Yeah, I
pump.
think that the idea is to get a hold of whoever it is who's buying gas from.
Yeah.
See if we can get a.
Because we only have one company that will provide us fuel right now, so,
Who's that?
the White Mountain.
Yeah, that's what I
On that line, this item that we had talked about, that needed to be purchased for that pump,
Right.
is it okay to order that?
So that will lock the pump.
Yes.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yes.
Oh,
The
no.
electrician just will have to put it in place.
And do you have somebody to do that?
Yes.
How much is it?
$117.
117,
thought. That's kind of.
that'll replace the broken,
Right, now we got a lockable pump.
Well, this kills the power.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
okay. Just wanted to make sure before we.
Do you want us to
went
vote
ahead.
on that? Anybody?
Sure.
You
Sure.
I don't think we need to vote on that. Splitting the cost between our two major fuel players. No, I mean the repair bill.
Right, I think Audrey has to do the same thing with everything involved with that, is to split it out between fire and police.
Is that what you were saying?
No, I totally have a different recommendation.
I took hers differently than you did.
I don't care. What's your recommendation?
You didn't listen.
No, I didn't, I very
On
rarely
the
listen.
general government buildings,
Right, no, for next year, I did hear that.
okay, for next year.
Yeah.
But I can create the line item this year, and then,
Repeat.
you have $50,000 left in that, and
In what?
in your government buildings.
General government buildings.
Okay.
I'm resistant only because of the intransigence of our budget committee to add lines that weren't there last year for them to modify or mollify over.
Yeah, I think that would create a little,
So let's just charge
another
the
topic of
departments,
discussion that we don't need this year.
and then we'll put the gas on the fix for next year.
And we'll make sure you don't run out of gas, some way, somehow.
And highway doesn't use it, so.
Right.
it just happens to be there.
It's probably the three main users are obviously us, PD, and
Right.
building. Pier 19, just so that you can see what's currently happening with the, I don't know if anyone has given you any pictures, there's
Oh, yeah,
a
the
couple
boat
different
launch.
You guys had discussed that months ago.
Multiple
And it
times.
was the discussion of how do we look at it? Well, the lake level's so low, I was there on
There
Sunday.
you go, there it
And you
is.
could see it crystal clear.
So
The
we're
last
just-
three sections are no longer pinned to the rest of the
So it's
section.
replacing those three sections.
And then it drops into a massive hole at the end. So trailers are falling off the end of it.
It's got a big rock there, it should slow somebody down.
Yeah. But just for your awareness.
I
because
think
the
that
condition
whole thing
appropriate.
was put in one piece. Obviously, it was all pinned together and then slid in.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just,
So how do we go about getting that repaired? Do we have to have
Well, we
that
have to
designed
bid it
and
out. We can't-
engineered, and
We have to get a permit to do it.
so this isn't something else that
Bid.
Tyler's gonna work on for us, probably?
Well, we can certainly ask him. Can we hold on to these?
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Those are
that's for you.
Thanks.
Do you have them electronically?
I do. I'll send them.
I'm gonna give you these.
Yeah, I'll
I have
send
to
it.
forward them.
Do we be putting a bug in Tyler's ear?
I think so, yeah.
I'll be talking.
Next time we talk to him, I think we ought to talk about those, because he brought it up as well.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for a couple of years.
Well, when we were doing 19 Mile Pier, we were talking about it, trying to include it, and we didn't, the permit didn't go there. So,
Permit didn't allow us to include it.
well, where we were using government money.
And I think that was put in by Moody. Same as,
I know
they're
he
both
did
the
Mirror-
same.
He
He did Mirror Lake.
Lake.
I believe that he did that also with Matt, from Melvin Marina as far as.
How long ago?
It's been quite a few years ago.
Yeah, and we may want to look at, I mean, the lake is dramatically lower right now.
Yes. But there definitely is a drop off at the end of that.
Sure.
Once your trailer drops down, it's just like a trig.
Yeah.
We're not gonna, I don't believe we're gonna be able to take our fireboat out of
Not there.
that place.
We have
Melvin Marina's probably gonna have to lift it out, from their zero lift up in their spot and put it on the trailer. Cause all around the lake is really low.
Yeah, we should talk to Tyler, we might be able to get that worked into something this year.
Just so you know.
It is an emergency. Okay,
Did you have anything else, Scott?
No.
everybody's happy down there? Got
Seem to be.
uniforms?
The new firefighter's working out.
Good.
Super.
Good.
He's
And that's the one who's the EMT or?
He's an EMTA.
Yeah.
He's got his heavy commercial, the works. We did not have to really train him whatsoever to start out the position. He's come in and done over and above what we were expecting.
Hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Budget.
Oh, we moved you to the 20th for your budget.
Of October.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Your non-public's here. They didn't get notification.
The what?
Your non-public is
Yep.
here.
What about notification?
They didn't get the email message.
Okay. We've taken care of all of our folders, we've taken care of the action items, we've taken care of correspondence. Let's get town administrator and selectmen's updates out of the way, and we'll finish the evening with that.
Okay.
Town administrator.
Okay, everyone took my thunder on the CIP. CIP is underway, and it's been fire department so far. And I would like to put in some requests from the selectmen this year. One of them being an estimate for road paving, because that is part of the CIP. Do I want to put in the same figures as last year or increase it based on?
Or you just want something for CIP to look at?
Right, so it can change when you actually do the warrant article. But if I use some,
Well, you can use this for
okay,
now.
and how many of them? So like Sodom Road and,
Last year we did, what was the total of our 2 warrant articles? It was like $700,000.
approximately.
So,
So we need to finish Pine Mill
About seven and
and then
seven
do,
and small change.
start on one of the others.
I think
5, 6. Yeah, I don't see any reason why you can't put this,
Okay,
this list in
All right.
for now as a placeholder anyways. Cause this is in the area of $700,000, about what we did last year.
okay, and another thing I had, is an estimate from, I was the wrong person to give that to. I'll just turn it over. I have a $34,000 estimate to look at the sound in this building in the foyer and making the upstairs accessible, ADA. So they would come in, they would review this building, look at using the upstairs. So
$34,000 for you?
the engineering. So I'll give this to you electronically. I'll give you a hard copy. But that's something I had asked for back in July and hadn't gotten circled back around with them. But I think there's gonna have to be a bigger discussion too, that's gonna involve the current existing police station.
a lot of that change is gonna happen in 27. So, I understand the sound issue that you were talking about earlier. But that's not $35,000 worth of engineering.
No, so they're willing to take that out, and then we could say, okay, what are we gonna do with that vacant space and then the upstairs?
I think we need to figure out what we're doing with the spaces
Yeah,
before we spend any money on.
Well, the sound is for the lobby. So it's not anywhere near the $35,000 number I thought it was.
And what were we talking about, sound panels?
I don't know, I haven't
There's
engaged them
some
yet.
suspended thing that you were
Right,
looking
I
at.
had looked at suspended and similar to the Primex training.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the people they referred.
I mean, I understand the cacophony that happens in the lobby, but I don't think we need to stretch this project into something more than that until we're a little further along.
Okay. So I will go back and get just the sound estimate.
And sometimes you can even go right to the manufacturers of sound panels and they'll work with you. For no charge and help you design something. That's what I did with
I would like to
the wall and ceiling panels at the nursing home. Remember how bad that small room was? Not the big, not about Washington Valley room, but the small multi-purpose room on the side. You couldn't even carry a conversation in there. We couldn't talk like this. It was so bad. I reached out to a manufacturer and they helped me design it, and it was.
But you have a
Didn't cost a
maintenance
penny.
department, so that's the other.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a little more unique based on this building.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you
Yeah,
listen,
we installed them.
if you listen to the budget committee meeting, you can hear Parks and Rec meeting going on in the background. So definitely bad. I already mentioned hazardous waste. I'll do your unassigned fund balance. I'll have that the next day. And my CIP request, they meet on Wednesday morning, so every Wednesday morning at 10, I'm over at the library with them.
They meet every week.
And DRA they'll have the MS1. They're getting the MS 535 from the auditors this week, and so we should be able to get a tax rate early November or late October.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm gonna propose we have a internal discussion between town clerk, conservation, code enforcement, and myself to talk about the wetland applications, because you have a hard copy there and they're required to only bring one now for the town clerk. I've been getting them electronically, so we need a process. What are we gonna do with our one paper copy? And Jack likes to have paper for his building file, but right now we're maintaining 3 paper copies in the building and storing them, and so I think we should have an internal discussion and then bring it to the selectmen with a recommendation.
Okay.
Because right now I can print you out the electronic application, but I can't print big plans or anything
Does
like
that
that.
involve a policy change?
Well, it's the state's policy that changed.
Is it going to involve policy change for us? I mean, if it's just a matter of how you keep records and whatnot, do the selectmen need to be involved? Unless it's a policy.
Well, you're on the distribution. Do you want to see all of them?
I think as long as we get the opportunity to review it, I don't think we need our own copy.
Right, and I don't keep it. I give the selectmen's copy to Jack, but now with the electronic version that Jen sends me, how much do I print for you? Do you want to just see the application and?
All I look at is the application. I don't know about you.
No, I guess as long as they're accessible, the problem, I think, all we need to do is, if all we're getting is one of these things, then we need to have some kind of sign up or sign out regime.
Who's storing it? Where is it?
Yeah, who's got it?
Yeah.
Who's got it, who took it out last, who brought it back, just a
Right.
system.
Yeah.
And then put it in the big file room as opposed to.
Yeah, because right now we're keeping 3 or 4 paper copies.
So one paper copy is fine, and then if we have everything else online, you can print us out a cover sheet on it. If we need more information than that, then we can go get the
Yeah.
plans and all the rest of it.
I'm all about keeping it simple.
Yeah.
To the extent that we can.
You have the pay table. Jack did put in his budget, but I assume you're gonna wanna wait till he comes.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, there was some confusion on that.
Yep.
And Tammy and I started today to go through the current expenditures because there are some things in financial administration that maybe need to be moved around. She needs to move one of the Primex bills to the correct category. So that's a focus.
Oh, the backhoe repair. We were talking
Oh,
about
that's
that.
right, I did pull that out. The backhoe repair was 21,000, and the remainder of that, Chip, under the warrant articles last week, the budget committee asked why we had spent 40-something thousand in backhoe repair. In fact, 25 of it was the money to the trustees for their account, and the balance, approximately 19,000, was the backhoe repair. So that will need to come out and go into the operating budget because it's not a capital
Right,
reserve.
but you can do that with a journal entry, right?
Yeah, I can move that easily.
Okay.
Oh, I am out on Friday.
Okay. Office is covered.
Yes. Okay, that's all I have.
All right. Anything from you?
I just did Bob's gonna be writing the Tuftonburg Times article. He sent me a copy of his draft. I've had a few typos that you messed up on. The first page,
Well, I borrowed it from something that somebody else wrote, so.
yeah, so it was probably my typo originally.
Give credit where credit's due.
And then you're finishing up on the police station with, well, we have money in hand, the selectmen no longer have the authority to spend $757,112 without budget committee approval or a special town meeting. I added that language. We've started the police station with monies that we are currently authorized to spend, acting on the will of the voter. As of the end of September, we have secured bids for all aspects of this project. And through the hard work of the construction manager, code officer, and the office of selectmen, the total cost of the new police station should be completed for $2 million, which would be approximately $100,000 under our budget. The project coming in under budget means that none of the USDA grant money would be available to us. I think that just needs to be clear that we aren't spending enough.
Well, that gives a better understanding of the grant.
We have,
Yes.
however, been unable to get approval from the budget committee to spend the funds raised by the 2021 warrant article. All the taxes for that warrant article were paid by the citizens in 21 and 22, and the budget committee has the authority to vote to expend these funds, at which point approval of the action would be requested of the Department of Revenue Administration and Contact. And it with your, in other words, but I don't know that we can actually submit it until the budget committee has an opportunity to vote. They've refused to vote twice, but they need to vote. Even if they vote no, they need to vote. And it's an opportunity. If they were to vote yes, or the majority voted yes, it would still have to go to DRA for approval. And let's say DRA didn't approve it. No harm, no foul, we're still going to a special town meeting. Or they did approve it, now you're participating in saving the day. If the budget committee votes no, I'm not sure, we would still have to send it to DRA. Even if they all vote no. because we need to get approval now for a special town meeting from DRA. We're not gonna, I think at one point in time, it was ask the court what they'll do if I charge this crime. I mean, they're not gonna give us an opinion or anything until we send them the actions that we've taken. That's how it works. It might be confusing or less than palatable or disturbing to some members, but that's how it works. They have to vote. And I don't know what risk there is to anybody. I mean, I wanted to go into the reasoning behind us starting, but all of the money that we spent, we have the authority to spend.
The money that we have spent so far,
Right.
yes, I agree.
And we're constantly, or I'm constantly looking at the budget run for the building to make sure that we're staying within that $1,306,000 that we're authorized to spend. So until we get this problem solved, we're not gonna spend any more than that. But if it gets pushed to, town meeting in March, I can't guarantee that we're gonna be under budget.
No, that $100,000 that you're talking about saving is gonna evaporate.
I think it might, yeah. I mean, we'll have the building weather tight, windows and doors by the end of October, and roof by the end of October.
No,
So,
but I think I think the budget committee wants to have the townspeople involved in the decision.
then we should have a public hearing. I mean, that would serve the same purpose. I mean, if they force us into a special town meeting, we're gonna be having a discussion about when to have it and how close to the real town meeting are we gonna go. Cause the timing starts getting a little messed up here. And for what reason? I mean, I think we've apologized as much as we can. And, you know, an additional pound of flesh isn't gonna solve the problem. They wanna get the police station built. So, you're gonna be the member on next Tuesday, right?
Yes. Yeah, the budget committee, at their last meeting, they recorded the meeting. That's been posted on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay. So the budget committee meeting, we went into a lengthy discussion, well, they went into a lengthy discussion about the reasons why they didn't want to support this avenue. They're not against building the police station by any means, they made that quite clear. But they did say that they wanted the voter involved. I haven't completely given up on this avenue. I think that there still may be a way, especially if we have a public hearing.
Yeah, and I think we can organize that. They might say that they need to be the organizing force behind the public hearing, but
Yeah.
we can organize a public hearing as well.
Yeah, and you know, my position is that we should at least send it to the DRA, whether we get rejected or not. At
You
least
still have to.
it'll be a decision.
Right.
And I think all we're asking the budget committee to do is to support our position to go to the DRA.
Right.
Simple as that.
And if they were absolutely categorically refuse to vote on this, because that's what I'm hearing, then we still should go to DRA and just say, okay, we don't have a vote on the budget committee, but here's what we need to do.
Well, I understand the budget committee wanting to let the townspeople make the vote. I see that position. I understand it. I don't necessarily agree with it because the townspeople already voted for the police station. They already voted for the money.
And the budget committee.
And the budget committee, yes. So, you know, I hope this isn't just an exercise in futility. I'd like to see this go through, but if it, you know, if at the end of the day, if it turns out that we have to have a special town meeting, we have to have a special town meeting. It's not the best way to go. I see the costs, savings dwindling the further we push this out. We've kicked this can down the road for 4 or 5 years now already. And yeah, there was a mistake made. And yes, the selectmen are owning the mistake. Simple as that. But there is a way out of this, and I'd like to do this sooner than later.
Yeah, we're not asking for additional permit.
No.
We're asking for the original permit. That's it for me.
Yeah, I have nothing to add. All right, we have another non-public. So I'm gonna make a motion.
And we've signed everything, right?
Yeah, we've signed everything that we needed to sign. So I'm gonna make a motion that we go into non-public under 91A. I'll be able to number, the folder's gone.
3C.
3C.
I'll second.
Murray, yes?
Baldwin, yes. Sorry.
Okay, go.
Good,
You're all
Jim.
set.
I'm gonna make a motion to come out of non-public
And seal the minutes.
and seal the minutes.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Do we have any other business to take care of tonight?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.